Back to the Classical Liberal Arts Academy's Greek reading course. In this lesson, we'll study verses 6 through 10 of chapter 1 of the Gospel of St. John. Let's begin, as usual, by reading all of the text that we'll be translating in this lesson. Verse 6. Egeneto anthropos apestalmenos para Theou, onoma auto Ioannes. Verse 7. Houtos euthen eis martyrian, china martyrese peri tu photos, china pantes pisteusosin di autou. Verse 8. Uk ein ekeinos to phos al china martyrese peri tu photos. Verse 9. Ein to phos to alethinon, ho photidze panta anthropon erkomenon es ton kosmon. And verse 10. En to kosmo ein, kai ho kosmos diautou egeneto, kai ho kosmos auton uk egno. Let's begin with the translation of verse 6. Egeneto anthropos. Egeneto is a verb that means there came or there was, and anthropos means a man. Egeneto anthropos, there came a man. Apestalmenos. Apestalmenos is a participle that means sent. This is where the word apostle comes from. Apestalmenos. There came a man sent para Theou. Para is a preposition that means from, and Theou is the genitive form of theos, which means of God. But here, with the preposition, it means from God. Onoma is the Greek word for name. The name auto, for him, Ioannes, John. If you look at the word Ioannes, you can see that the name for John in Latin, Ioannes, is the same exact word, just transliterated. What transliterated means is the letters of Greek are simply changed into Latin letters to form the Latin name. So let's go back over verse 6. Egeneto anthropos, there came a man, apestalmenos, sent para Theou, from God, onoma, the name, auto, for him, Ioannes, John. In verse 7 we read houtos, and make sure you note that there's rough breathing and a circumflex accent over the first syllable. Houtos. Houtos is a pronoun that means this. It refers back to anthropos, this man, euthen, and on this word, look at the first syllable and see soft breathing with a circumflex accent. Houtos euthen. Euthen is a verb that means came. Eis is a preposition that's translated for, and martyrian is a substantive noun that means a testimony. Notice martyrian if we take the Greek vowel upsilon and change it into an English Y, we see the source of the word martyr. Now we associate martyrs with people who die for the faith, but what a martyr truly is a witness, one who testifies concerning the faith. Houtos eilthen, this one or this man came eis marturian, for a testimony. Hina, so that. Marturese, here we have a verb form. Marturese, he might give testimony, or he might bear witness. Peri is a preposition that means concerning or about. Tu photos, peri tu photos, about the light. Hina, so that. Pantes, all or all men. Pisteusosin, all men might believe. Di autou, here again we see the preposition dia shortened with an apostrophe. Dia means through, and autou means him. This man came for a testimony, so that he might give testimony or bear witness, peri tu photos, about the light. Hina pantes, so that all pisteusosin might believe, diautou, through him. In verse 8 we read, uk ein ekeinos tophos. Uk is the adverb not. Ein, the verb was. Ekeinos, we translate that as he. Tophos, the light. Not was he the light. Allah. Here we have al-hina. We have the conjunction Allah shortened with an apostrophe. The actual conjunction is Allah, which means but, and then hina, so that. To make it easier to pronounce, the final alpha in Allah is cut off, and we read al-hina, rather than Allahina, al-hina, but so that marturese, he might give testimony or bear witness, peri tu photos, about the light. In verse 9 we read, ein to phos to alethinon. Ein means he was or it was, to phos, the light, to alethinon. Alethinon is an adjective that means true. You'll notice that the article is set before both the substantive and the adjective that follows it, to phos, to alethinon. That simply shows us that the substantive and the adjective are to be taken together. He was the light, the true light. Cha, which. Photidze, you can see the stem, phot. That's where we get the word photography from. Photos means light. We've already seen the substantive noun phos. Photos is the actual stem of that word. Here we have the verb photidze, which means to illumine, which illumines panta. Before we learned pantes, which meant all. Here we see panta, and we're going to translate panta as every. Anthropon, man. Ein to phos, he was the light, true, which, cha, photidze, illumines or enlightens, panta anthropon, every man. Erchomenon, this is a participle that means coming. If you remember your Latin, it was venientem. Erchomenon, coming, eis, into, ton kosmon, the world. And finally, in verse 10, we read, en to kosmo ein, in the world he was. Kai and ho kosmos, the world, di autou, we again have an apostrophe, dia shortened to di, which means through, autou, him, egeneto, was made or came to be. Kai ho kosmos, and the world, auton, him, uk, not, egno, did know. En to kosmo ein, in the world he was. Kai ho kosmos, di autou egeneto, and the world through him was made. Kai ho kosmos, auton uk egno, and the world him not did know. We've now studied the translation of verses 6 through 10 of chapter 1 of John's Gospel in Greek. If you study this video along with the printed lesson for the course, and do the Greek to English and English to Greek translation exercises, you'll be able to master the translation of verses 6 through 10. Remember, it's also helpful to go from Greek to Latin and from Latin to Greek to help you master all three languages. I hope that you've enjoyed this lesson in the Classical Liberal Arts Academy's Greek reading course. We study the translation of verses 6 through 10 of chapter 1 in the Gospel of St. John. In our next lesson, we'll continue studying verses 11 through 15. God bless.